Righty, team. Welcome to episode 63 of Yarn's podcast. My name's Matt, and today we're joined by someone who runs a couple of mental health awareness sort of outlets with Movember around football and cricket and sporting endeavours like that. So we are joined with Craig. So Craig, how you going, mate?
Good, mate. Thank you for having me.
No worries, man. So this whole episode is going to be centred around mental health, men's mental health, coming up to Movember next month. So we thought we'll get a dive into that. Obviously, there's a reason I reached out to you. I coach football and played football growing up, and I saw the Movember football team come up, but you also run a cricket one as well.
Yep.
So just before we dive into that, we want to get to know you a bit more and sort of what led you down the route of wanting to spread awareness with mental health.
I guess it's my journey. I am born and bred here in Kirikiriroa, Hamilton. The youngest of three boys, so growing up it was a competitive household. My mum and dad, I am so grateful for. We were chucked in the car, summer, winter, whatever. Football, cricket, those were the sports.
Yeah.
And from a very young age, the values that I live by now were instilled in me. And then through high school, went to Boys High, and then ended up in the UK on a gap exchange like many Kiwis do. It was meant to be 1 year, ended up being 8. I finished high school and thought, I don't want to go to uni just yet.
Yep.
Still haven't been. And went over there. Like I say, it was meant to be 1 year, was 8.
Yeah.
Was lucky enough, I played a lot of cricket up in Scotland, of all places.
Oh, wow.
Played professionally in South Africa as well. Then I thought, geez, I better grow up and come home, because I was still living the life of probably what students do, and living the life of the gap year, but that was, like I say, it was 8. Came home, got a business, got a house, all by the age of 30, and I thought, I'm sorted.
Yeah.
I thought, shit, I've made it.
Yeah.
But I hadn't. And then the global financial crisis hit. So this was 2008, I think it was.
Yeah.
And things just started sliding. So the business, it was a pool fencing business. So as you can imagine, things get tight. People don't put pools in, so they don't need glass pool fencing and so on and so forth. I had a relationship that broke up. I had a dog that died. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And being a bloke, I didn't open up. So it was all these just things piling on that I look back now that if I had probably, and what I know now, if I had opened up in the first instance, I wouldn't have got to the point where I did, where on my mum's 60th birthday was going to be the day that I was going to take my life.
Right, okay.
So I was going to, I thought, give my mother the best birthday present I could give her by me not being there anymore, because I knew the grief, the pain, everything that I'd put them through. I wasn't thinking about myself. I wasn't at that point. I was just not thinking about myself. I was thinking about everyone else and thinking that if I wasn't here, then they would be able to live a happy life without me, because I knew that I was making them sad by the way that I was. Luckily, and honestly, this happened probably about 500 metres down the road, because my brother and I had built a house, and it was him that came in, and I have to this day have no idea why I left the front door open, but I did. He came in, and he knew something was up, and we had a conversation. There were tears. There was a lot of quietness. There was just a lot of not talking. And it got to a point where I realised how sick I was, purely with it being my mum's birthday and me thinking that it was going to be the best birthday present I could ever give her. And from that point, it was sort of like, right, I've got to obviously help myself. Started counselling. And counselling was great. Counselling is something that I tell everyone that we need to be doing, but we need to be doing it when we're in a good headspace as well, rather than being in crisis. And what the counselling did was put structure back into my life. Having a healthy breakfast, small goals, just doing things through the day that I could tick off, getting out of bed, making my bed, sort of thing. Just things that you look back now and go, geez, really? But it is these little things that you can tick off. And it was about that time that John Kirwan came out as well, around his anxieties and things like that he had with being an All Black. And I thought, I mean, I'd never played rugby. I was too soft for that sort of thing. Like I say, football was my game, my winter sport.
That's a tough sport.
I tried playing in Scotland. I just kept getting broken bones.
That's pretty much rugby in Scotland.
Exactly. And he talked about that physical activity side of things.
Yeah, of course,
And by this time, yes, I had the counselling. I'd gone to the doctor. He had prescribed me the antidepressants, and one of the side effects of antidepressants is you put weight on. So I'd ballooned up to 120 plus kgs. Still smoking darts, still drinking like an absolute trooper, eating shit. All the things that you're not meant to do. And then John Kirwan came out and said about the physical activity. So I thought, okay, I'll give this a go.
Yeah.
Bought a pair of shoes, went for a run, and I probably got from here to the other side of the room and went, ooh, just about keeled over. But by the time I got, I stopped there and turned around and went home. But by the time I got home, I was like, actually, even that was only like 5 minutes or something, I felt good. Just that endorphin hit. And then I was like, going back to the goals that the counsellor we talked about, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to run 1K without stopping, 5Ks without stopping, 10Ks, a half marathon. And I was like, right, what's next? What can I do to prove that I'm physically and mentally good again? So Ironman came onto my radar.
That's a huge endeavour, mate.
I know. You talk about big hairy ass goals, the big BHAGs, and Ironman was it.
Of course, yeah.
And I've just gone, not knowing, mate. I hadn't been in a pool for bloody I don't know how long, and I still swim like a lead weight. Didn't own a bike. I had a pair of shoes and could run a half marathon, but that was about it. And I've just gone, bugger it, I'm going to do this. Because growing up was always team sport. And I love team sport, just that camaraderie and connection. But I just needed this for myself. So decided to do Ironman, locked it all in. No idea what I was doing, but started raising money for Mental Health Foundation.
Oh, nice.
And they, through that first year of training, the feedback I was getting from people, just random people just touching base, going, geez, what you do is awesome. I'm like, really? I'm just a average Joe bloke, Kiwi bloke, just doing something for myself. They're like, nah, that's cool. You're actually showing vulnerability. You're opening up and getting conversation started. And I was like, this is cool. So the morning of the race dawned, Lake Taupo, and a weather bomb had hit.
All right.
So they cancelled it. They cancelled the race. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So they ended up having the half Ironman, did the half Ironman on the Sunday. I mean, this is how bad it was. People were surfing on the lake.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine, I mean, this is, I was like, nah, surely we can do it. Went down to the lake. It was just like, no, we can't. No chance. So I did the half on the Sunday. That sucked. I hated it.
All right.
Purely because my goal was that Ironman.
To do the Ironman, yeah, of course.
And I look back now and it was a blessing because I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the full. So that's the 3.8K swim, the 180K bike ride, and the marathon. So we did the half, got through that, and I was like, nah, stuff it. My goal was Ironman.
Yeah.
I think a few years before, when I was at my low point, if that had happened, I would have just gone, nah, world's against me. Woe is me, but he just gone, nah, and packed a sad. But I was like, no, this is my goal. I've got to go for it. So I did another year of training. 10 days out, I went for it was a 5K run. And I had this guy run past me who was probably about 80. And I've gone, I'm not feeling that flash. And this dude's he's just smoked me. And I'm like, what's going on here? Got back home, sat down, and my wife, partner, who's my wife now, was just like, oh, you don't look flash. I was like, well, I'm not feeling great. Then Dr. Google, everything, all signs, Dr. Google, everything just were pointing towards a heart attack. And I'm like, nah.
That's a bit extreme.
Nah.
Yeah.
Next day, I was like, oh, it's Ironman. You want to be good.
Yeah.
Next day, I went to the doctor, sent to a cardiologist.
Wow.
Sent for bloods.
Yeah.
And the cardiologist was like, if you get chest pain or whatever, just take the spray, and then if it continues, go to the hospital. I was like, oh, it's continuing. Ended up driving to hospital. So we were living up in Auckland, and it was Middlemore. So I ended up parking about 3 k's away because I didn't want to pay for parking. Walked in. By the time I'd lay down in bed, the people that had taken my bloods had phoned me and said, you got to get to the hospital, you've had a heart attack.
All right, yeah. Fucking hell.
Next 3 days in hospital, had a stent put in. First question I asked was, can I do Ironman? Obviously.
Of course, yeah, naturally.
Unfortunately, they said no. But the funny thing was, about 6 weeks later, I ran one of my fastest half marathons, because it was like, well, actually, this is how my body's meant to go. This is how blood's meant to get around my body, oxygen around my body. And I know this is a long-winded story to your question, but this is, I guess, is around me and my passion for mental health.
That's what we're here for, man, yeah.
And it's so then I was lying in hospital and was just like, shit, do I? And I did. I re-entered. So 2014, I was able to do my race. And it felt, I say it was my Olympic cycle because it was 3 years of training.
Yeah.
But that final walking, I walked the red carpet at the end, and I was just bawling my eyes out.
Right.
And it was just the weight of that black dog just off me, and it was just an amazing feeling. Crossed the finish line, all that sort of stuff, and then I'm like, I can't just stop here. I can't. I've had so many people following me. I've had the people like the fundraising and stuff, and then a couple of friends took their life, and then there was high-profile people taking their lives as well. I'm just like, shit. There's got to be more done. There's a lot of talk. There was always talk. We've got to be doing this. We've got to put money here. We've got to do that. And I'm like, but where's the action behind it? So I set up a Facebook group, Mates Matter Facebook group, and then that started going nuts. And then I was just like, no, I've got to do more. What else can I do? So I set up the charity, the Mates Matter Charitable Trust. During COVID, I just love doing things tough, and I would never set something up like that during COVID again. It was just brutal. It was hard, but we got off the ground, and it's all about Mates is about building moments that matter, building connection. 100% believe that, yes, there's pressure on the professionals out there, the counsellors, the psychologists, the first responders, but as a community, we can do more. And it's something that we've got to break that silence around, and that's where the connection with Movember comes in, with the sports club. So 2022, I think it was, we kicked off the Movember Cricket Club with a test match, 5-day test match against Seton Cricket. And it was all just around men's health, just getting blokes together for the common goal of playing a game of cricket and playing 5 days of cricket, where growing up, the longest that we probably would have played, most of us would have played, was 3 days. And yet you sort of, the pinnacle was that 5-day test match. And and for me, cricket is, it ebbs and flows like life. You have your ups and downs, like any sporting match, actually.
Yeah, of course.
And it was just, and the beauty of what Movember does around men's health is just like, it's all health by stealth. It's that getting blokes together, or getting men together in a place where it's all about mental health and physical health, but you don't really realise it. You're out on the cricket ground for a day playing, then you're sitting down in the change rooms afterwards having a yarn with mates, and it's just about diving deeper into the conversations. So I guess that's where my passion lies, is around that sport as a huge vehicle, as a vehicle for mental health, for health in general. We're losing blokes too young. We're 3.5 years shorter lifespan than females. If we're Māori, it's 7.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And if you're putting that into, well, my maths is shit, but that's what, 160 weeks. I've got an 8-year-old son. I look at him and go, I'm going to have 160 weeks less with you than what my wife is. That sucks. I'm going to do as much as possible to make sure that I'm okay. And that's going to the doctor. That's going prostate checks. Prostate checks, it's not Dr. Rubber Gloves anymore. It's a bloody it's blood.
Yeah.
It's the testicular cancer stuff, which is killing young blokes too. And then the mental health stuff. I mean, we're losing the suicide rates in New Zealand. It's every 3 out of 4 suicides are male.
Yeah.
That shit's got to change.
Mm.
And that's what I mean. If I can do my little bit, if I can help one person on this journey of mine, then 100% know that I've done what I can and what I've set out to do. That was
on
long-winded. Sorry,
mate. It's all good. That's what we're here for. I'm gonna get you talking more. Just on, you saying you can add, bits of your journey to help others leading up to the 60th, your mother's 60th birthday. Like, what signs are you seeing even before, like when things are at a high? Are you seeing now any signs then that you could have picked up on that maybe others out there could be picking up on early doors?
100%. I mean, for me, when I was hitting rock bottom, I'd have mates that would be phoning me up going, hey, how about coming out for a beer or whatever? And I'll be like, no, I'm going around to mum and dad's for a roast. On the same day, mum and dad would be phoning up and going, hey, how about coming around for a roast? And I'll be like, no, I'm going out with mates.
Right.
The whole time I was at home, locked away in my bedroom by myself, usually drinking.
Right.
I would, and people talk about this a lot, you pull on the mask on a Monday morning to go to work, you take that off at the end of the week. So you just, I think back then, shit, if Shortland Street came knocking, asking for an actor, I would have been great, because that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was acting the whole time that I was actually okay. I look back now and I was probably a shit actor because people did pick up on it, but they didn't ask. They weren't going, Craig, mate, you've chucked on 10 kgs in the last however long, but are you actually okay? Or, geez, you're looking rough. What's going on? Or, we haven't seen you around. What's up? We're getting better at that now. Back then we weren't. It was still that stigma, still that, geez, there's something wrong. Well, I can't ask him how he's doing because I'm scared of what he might say. And I just like when I'm facilitating programs or talking to groups, it's like, don't be scared. It's like that person that you're asking is going to be grateful that you've noticed something, or that you actually give a damn to sit down and have a chat with them. And we're blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth. All you have to do is ask them, and then just sit back and shut up.
Yeah.
And embrace. If there's quietness, just embrace it, because I know full well that when people do, or back then when people were asking me, I couldn't just come out and say, well, actually, no, I'm suicidal, because I'd be like, it's me showing a weakness or whatever. It would take me a long time to answer any question around how I'm actually doing, because I'm like, okay, is this a trusted person? Do I know them well enough? How are they going to react? What if I say this to them? What are they going to judge me? And all this sort of stuff. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I think it's, looking back, I withdrew. I used unhealthy mechanisms, whereas now I've got healthy tools to use, like the physical activity. Back then it was just drinking, smoking darts, just sitting on my ass doing nothing, locking myself away, just shutting down really. Whereas now it's like I can talk to anyone about my journey. Yeah, of course, but I still have counselling. I still go to counselling, and I would use counselling when I'm in a good headspace. But it's also knowing my triggers. Winter sucks. I just don't like winter. And it's sort of having that self-reflection around knowing myself and knowing what's good for me, what's not good for me. I know if I drink now anything more than about 4 or 5 beers, the hangover sucks. But it's the 2 or 3 days after that I have the drinking downers, and I'm like, no, I just can't do that. I just don't want to do that. But it's just back then, like I say, withdrawn. And these are the things that when I'm talking to groups and people is around, it's the stuff that you see, the sense, hear, the gut feel. People knew that my business was going tits up. People knew the relationship broken up. People knew the dog had passed away and things like that. And then would sort of steer clear of going into that conversation where I look back now and I say, well, actually just dive in, just buddy, go for gold, have that chat.
Is there anything that you could say to people that, because it's not 100% gone, people still probably feel like it's not their business, they're like, oh, something is up, and they have that feeling of, I don't want to be too invasive. Is there anything you could say to those people out there? Like, is it just go in as hard as you can, or is there ways you can sort of go around it and be a bit more diligent?
I mean, it's being respectful, but what's the worst thing that could happen if you ask someone how they're doing? Mate, you're looking a bit shit or whatever. What's the worst thing if you don't ask?
Yeah. I suppose that's the flip side of that.
Because it's like, if you don't ask and then something happens, it's like,
what if you just asked? Yeah.
What if I just asked? What if I just went in there and sometimes, I mean, it is different whether it's a teammate or a work colleague or a whānau member or whatever it might be. It's like, we're actually a close friend, you'll be like, mate, what's going on? You're just looking a bit shit lately. Whereas you wouldn't say that to a work colleague, because they'll be like, HR is going to be on the phone next thing. So it's just knowing the people that you're talking to. And I think it's based around whanaungatanga and getting to know people, and we're all interconnected somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like, the more we know people, and especially in the workplace, I mean, we don't have to be on everyone's Christmas card list. But if we have that respect and a bit of care for each other, I mean, work's work.
Yeah.
It's just work.
Yeah.
If we're dealing with the human and taking that holistic approach, so actually, mate, what's going on? You're not joining us for lunch like you used to. You're not coming out for coffees. You're not your jovial self. What's up? Let's go for a walk, sort of thing. I tell you what, some of the best conversations I've ever had have been in a car. It's that setting it up. It's just being aware. You're not going to go and stand over someone and go, mate, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. It's it's either walking side by side or sitting in a car on a park bench or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You don't do that interview style where you're sort of just staring at someone going, how are you? It's giving people the opportunity to look around and things like that. So it's, if you think something's up, ask the question. That's and it's going deeper than the are you okay? It's reflecting. It's like, well, shit, I feel like something's up. You're not your usual self. What's going on? Rather than just going, are you okay? Because more often than not, as a bloke, you go, I'm all good. But it's like, well, actually, shit, I've seen this, or this. That person will then go, okay, Craig's noticed something. He cares. Do I want to answer him? You might still get no, I'm all good. But what you're doing is letting that person know that you're a safe space to come and have that chat to. Yeah.
No, for real. You touched on something earlier, going to therapy when you're in like a good headspace. You touched on some things that would help, like setting routine and being, I suppose you're in a clearer mind to understand. But just go on that a bit deeper, how, because I'm also pretty big on that, like being able to talk when you are in a sound mind. Like what sort of things have you noticed, being in therapy in that sort of headspace?
Prehabilitation. It is, I just call it prehabilitation. I mean, when we're playing football, we train. We warm up our muscles. We stretch. If we're throwing tin in the gym, we have to stretch first. We're not just going to go in there cold turkey and just go and throw out a PB or whatever it is. It's like, well, actually, we've got to be making sure that we're looking after our head as well. So we're working on our head just as much as we're working on the rest of the body. So I'd rather use counselling when I'm in a good headspace, because I know full well that if I'm at the precipice or if I'm in crisis, or if many people are in crisis, they don't want to talk to people.
Right.
But if I'm going into counselling, and I did it last year, so my role in my current job, I'm being disestablished end of next month. I had a hip replacement last year, so I just had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I was like, I actually need to get in early, get into the counsellor, make sure my kiti of tools, make sure my bag of tools is in good shape, and add anything in that I need. Otherwise, if you have that bag of tools and you run out of those tools, you might lean into other stuff, the unhealthy coping mechanisms, the drink, the drugs, the whatever it might be. So I use it to make sure that, hey, are the breathing techniques I'm using right? We talked about the circle of control and making sure that I'm using that and have that up on my wall and go, and I'm just, and it just reinforces stuff that I already knew. Whereas I think if I was, or I know, if I'm in crisis, that I'm not as willing to take things in as and it's usually it is too late for me.
Right.
So I stand in front of people and just say, shit, if you're an organisation that has external counselling services, or EAP as we call it, use it.
Yeah.
It's free for you guys. You get 3 sessions. Just use it. Top up your, even if you're in a good space, have a sit down, have a chat with someone that is neutral, who's a professional. Tell them what's going on, and they'll go, sweet, this is cool. Have you thought about doing this? And it's about, it's about being that, I guess, that 1% better. It's that making sure that I'm in a good space now. How do I get to a better space? And always trying to learn and things like that. Because I think that's one thing that I know when I was at that low spot, I just didn't want to listen to anyone. If someone was like, oh, you should try that, especially the counselling side of things, try this, I'm like, why would I do that for? Yeah. But now as I go into those sessions, I'm like, tell me more, what can I do?
Just on that EAP you were talking about there, because honestly that's new to me. We've got a lot of staff here, about 20, there's a few. What could businesses be doing? Because I think I'm probably afterwards going to chat to you about that a bit more, but like, what can businesses be doing to help their staff?
Honestly, yes, EAP, but there's so much more as well, because EAP is very Western. It's that their Western talk therapy. It's that we'll sit down and we'll come in and we'll have a chat. But if you're taking a holistic approach, and a lot of the EAP providers now offer rongo and Māori, which is fantastic. So taking that cultural side as well. I think it's yes. I talk about EAP because I've used it and it's worked. It's not for everybody. I think within businesses and organisations, if you're building capability of people, that's sitting them down, that's running them through a 90-minute program, that's getting to know each other, you're in a lot better space then to pick up on telltale signs of what someone might be going through, rather than going, actually, we'll send you to, or here's an EAP provider, which in some cases could be a tick box.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But it's sort of just going, small organisations is more for me around that, getting to know the people, building the capability so you can have those conversations, rather than it's sort of, I'd like, and this is where I love Movember and what we do within Mates, it's about the prevention. It's not intervention. So counselling in some cases is intervention. That's when shit's hit fan. You talk about the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff type thing. That's where sometimes the EAP providers or counselling is. Whereas the stuff with Movember, the stuff with Mates is more that prevention space. It's getting in early. It's that, teaching staff or teaching people, okay, how do I have those conversations? It's actually okay to have these conversations. How do I look after myself, and utilising things like Te Whare Tapa Whā and going, actually, where am I weak at the moment? What can I be working on? And it's giving people the tools to work on themselves, but also being able to look after others. And in many cases, it's a lot cheaper than what an EAP provider is. Right. Yes, EAP is great, but if you look at numbers and uptake, it's probably minimal. It's probably 4% or 3%. Yeah. 4% is huge, to be fair. It's probably 2.5, 3 of start. Whereas if you're building a culture where psychological safety is something that's lived and breathed by top down, so you're allowing people to make mistakes, you're allowing them to have these conversations, you have a good work environment where they're not working 24/7 or whatever it is. It's these are the things that we've got to be looking at in work design, rather than having, okay, here's a provider, phone them if you're feeling a bit off. Because even if they do phone them and utilise them, if it's a work issue, what's happening at that workspace that's changing? As you can tell, this is my day job as well. So this is what I do on a daily. So it's sort of going, right, what can we be doing for the people, the work design, the psychological safety around these sorts of things as well.
Oh, very good. Let's get on to this, to Mates. You've brought it up a few times. I know very little about it. It's a charitable trust, obviously centred around mental health. So what are you guys doing, and how can people help out, get on board?
So we look at ourselves. So you've got the giants of the game. You've got the Mental Health Foundation. You've got Gumboot Friday. You've got Mighty and things like that. We're I call us the eyelash on the giant.
Right.
We're just a small little charitable trust built here in the Waikato. We're all about creating moments that matter. We do run programs, so we run the Mental Health First Aid Aotearoa program. It's a 2-day mental health awareness program. We've got the Mates Talk, which is it's a 3-hour program. But we want to be able to create these moments. We we walk around the lake every last Friday of the month, where it's just about connection. It's just about people coming along, connecting with others. It's not a counselling session or anything like that, because we're not counsellors. It's just a matter of coming along, connecting, and trying to break down isolation, because isolation it's a killer at the end of the day. You just have to look at, I guess, the farming community and things like that, where they are isolated. Look at the numbers of poor mental health within those areas. So it's trying to work with different communities to bring people together to build those moments that really, really matter, where people feel they can connect, they can communicate, and they have that sense of belonging, because that's one of the big things that you miss, and that's where the sports club and stuff like that comes in. Yes, at work, we can talk about well-being and stuff like that, but I think the well-being that happens, and especially for blokes in sports clubs or esports areas or men's sheds or whatever it is, where blokes come together, that's where the power is.
No, for sure. Just going on that team sport thing, do you think at a professional level there could be more done around that? They all go on about, they've got counsellors in their teams, in their sports and all kind of stuff, but I've seen, Waikato A coaches say some pretty unsavoury things towards their players, and you think, mate, they've paid to be here, and you're giving them that much shit. At the top level, you've obviously played professional cricket yourself, and at a time where probably no one was talking about mental health. I mean, it seems like a dumb question, but they could definitely be doing more.
Everyone can be doing more.
Yeah.
And it's that capability uplift, because I guess if coaches are going in and causing shit and treating people like shit, they've learned that somewhere. We've got to break that habit. We've got to break that and go, actually, no, let's treat these people like humans, and you will get a better result. The players aren't going out there to lose games or play a shit game. Yeah, it just happens sometimes. It's like, well, actually, cool, mate, you've dropped 4 passes today, missed 3 tackles, or you couldn't hit the side of a barn today. It's like, well, don't go in and blast them. Find out what's going on. It's like, well, actually, shit, if we put too much pressure on you, we've trained you 6 times this week, or what's going on at home and stuff like that. So that's where getting to know the people outside of the sport, rather than it being the result on the park. If you're looking after all that other stuff, the results will look after themselves. As cliche as that is, I look at the EPL, even Scottish Premier League. They're doing a lot more in this space in the mental health space for supporters. And the 27th of September, I think it was, when the All Blacks played up at Eden Park against the Wallabies, they had that break the silence moment where Movember, NZRU worked together, and everyone in the crowd, instead of having a moment of silence, just flipped that, and it was just roaring and cheering and stuff like that. So it's like trying to do more things like that, getting people talking, you've got these guys playing top level sport, but should we be putting it on their shoulders? No, because they might have their issues as well. It's sort of just, they're human. They're just trying to do their day job, and then if they have a bad game, geez, you read about it in the paper for the next week, and I feel sorry for them. And it's just like, Jesus. I mean, I don't read the paper anymore. If I do, it'll be just the sports news, because it's just all terrible. It's just there's nothing good. There's a hell of a lot good going on, but we don't hear about it because it doesn't sell. But I think more can be done, and it's just about capability uplift. It's about getting into clubs. Yes, NZRU has ahead of the game. Football has nothing that I know of, that I'm aware of. I've looked, and within New Zealand, there's not a huge amount. And it's about getting in and going, coaches, players, whānau members, especially getting for academy players or whatever it is, train the coaches up around having the conversations, what to look for, train the players up around looking out for themselves, doing self-reflection and looking after their teammates, and then train the whānau, the family members up in the same sort of way that you do with the coaches, but going, actually, how can I work with my son, daughter around being the best version of themselves? Sport, it's for a short amount of time. You're only one injury away. Yeah. The percentage of people playing professional sport that are starting at a young age and going through, you look at Chris Wood compared to how many millions of kids have kicked a ball around here, is minimal. So it's also going, yes, it's great to have that goal, but what else? What else are you looking at? So and building that resilience as well, because if we aren't resilient, then if we get the no's, which we will get, as we do in life, then that sort of starts compiling as well. So it's taking that bigger holistic approach. Then we need to win this game. It's like, well, if we've got a team that's fully on board, has the culture, and is paddling the walker in the same direction, so to speak, it's like, we're going to go a hell of a long way. You might just have average footballers or average rugby players, but Jesus, they're going to give you 100% every week and they will win.
Yeah, I love that club level, because like you said, like majority, 99% of people only play club level sport and they're paid to be there. Yeah. I've only really ever had high performing athletes come on here, so it's I've never really looked at it from that sort of that ground level perspective of it. I mean, you could even go so far as to see, Waikato is a pretty small place, and in the football scene, players and coaches bounce around a lot. It's just the way it goes, but players get demonised for leaving a club. It's like, mate, like if you're in a certain league and they want to play better football, like I said, they're only playing sport for a limited time. Like, let them go. Like, they're fucking kids, man.
And they're playing it because they love it.
Yeah.
They enjoy it. Don't
ruin that for
them. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin the love of the game. Because when I was going through what I was going through, I hate, and I don't like the word hate, but it's very strong, but I hated cricket. I just completely fell out of love of cricket, with cricket. Because I just didn't want to be around people. It was just a chore. It just sucked the life out of me. And I'm just, I don't want anybody to feel like that, because cricket and football are magnificent games, and you get to meet fantastic human beings. It's like, I look back now, growing up, I was a dick. I was a dick on the cricket field. I was that chirpy little bugger at first slip, telling everybody how shit they were.
On the field's different, surely.
And I'm just, I probably, because I'm competitive, because growing up as the youngest of three boys, and I'm just, I look back and go, geez, I was a dick sometimes, but I'm like, well, it never left the field, or anything. I hope never went personal. But you learn as well. And I look at kids playing sport, I look at my son playing sport, and it's just so cool. It's just you see the joy, and I just don't want people to lose that and go, I don't want to play because they've treated me bad or whatever it is. And I just think we need to be doing more in that space. I don't like this might be controversial, I don't like the everyone gets a participation award.
Yeah.
We need to keep score, because sport for me is like life. You win, you lose. And the earlier we're teaching that lesson, the earlier you build that resilience around stuff. You're going to go into job interviews and you'll get told no. You'll go into other things and you'll be told yes or no or whatever. You're playing sport, you're playing to win. Or if you lose, it's like you've got to be a good loser as well. Yeah. And what does that look like? You don't learn that by getting a participation award or not keeping score or anything like that. I'm old school in that way.
True,
and I'm just like, we need to be teaching the kids young in that respect, that, hey, there's a way to win and there's a way to lose. Don't be a pork chop if you win, and don't be one when you lose. You go and shake your opponent's hand and say, well played. And I think going back to the club stuff, because and this is the beauty of club sport, but it's also probably something that needs to be worked on, because you're so many different backgrounds. I mean, for the cricket club, for example, we've had 63 guys playing, and they're complete different backgrounds, from lawyers or judges to to guys that are on chainsaws all day or whatever, and we're there for the love of the sport. So it's just getting, and I feel for coaches because they're having to try and bring all these different characters together for one purpose, and that's trying to play the game, and it's trying to go, right, what's going on in your lives, what can we learn from what, and getting to know. But we need, rather than it going through a level 1, 2, 3 football coaching thing, it's like, actually, do we need to be putting them through mental health training as well?
Yeah.
And I think we do. That's just something that I especially the more I look at the numbers, especially around males and how many are playing sport or still playing sport or even esports and things like that. It's like, well, we need to get where they are and we need to be building that capability. And I always say that we all have an opportunity because the pressure, we hear about it every day, the pressure on the mental health systems, it's imploding.
Yeah.
We can take that pressure off by learning more. And it doesn't have to be a 2-day program. It can be a 3-hour session, 90-minute session. It's more along the lines of, it's actually okay to be talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think the mental health training, and it doesn't even need to be much. It could also be an ongoing thing through the season.
100%.
You know, you could have moments of the season where you go catch up someone. I actually think I got this wrong. Like I've heard coaches, you know, a player turns up the training, you can see he's down. We all know he's had a full day of work. I've had a coach go, it's not my problem. Why did he even turn up? You know, I'm like, bro, like, it kind of is your problem right now.
This is safe space. This is where he's come to.
Yeah. And then, you know, he'll be told, no, you just, you can go train somewhere else or you can go train with the reserves now. I was like, I don't think that was, but then again, having that training, you make that decision and then you can, I think I got that wrong. How could I have?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a 2-day seminar. You could have this thing going
100%. And something that I've seen is a few things. Real powerful within the workplace is asking the question, how is work affecting you as a human being right now? You might think that might open the can of worms for bitching and moaning, but it doesn't, because it's like, well, actually, no, I'm not sleeping. I'm being a bit grumpy at home. Okay, what can we be doing? Another thing is using Te Whare Tapa Whā and using the 4 walls of the house and going, actually, how are you physically today? How are you mentally today? How are you spiritually? And spiritually for me is around the values and things like that. I'm not someone that believes in a God or anything like that. Some people do, which is awesome, but I'm more around the values, or spiritually for me is getting out on my bike and getting into nature. And how's things with family? And the way I do that at work is going, right, out of 20, because there's 4 walls, each wall's worth 5, where are you at? Oh, I'm at about a 13. Okay, why is that? Well, family's all good, it's at a 4. Physical, I'm at a bit of a 2 because, geez, I've pulled a hammy or whatever it is. Yep. And then everything, and you work on that, and it's like, actually, people show a little bit of vulnerability, but then others can go, actually, how can we help Craig? Is it something that he's been low numbers for a while now, or he's been low within that space for a while now? What can we be doing? And I think that would work quite well works well anywhere, to be honest, but in a sporting environment where you rock up training, hey lads, girls, what score are you today? I'm at a 10, I'm at a 20. Awesome, cool. What's going on? Yeah. And just stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And it's just, and being able to show that vulnerability is power. I think. And if it starts from the coach down, it's like, well, actually, cool. We're in a safe space here, and that bloke turning up to the training that's a bit down knows that this is a safe space. You might not like the person that gets out of the car, but you'll like them when you get back in at the end of the training session.
Rightio, let's turn our attention to the 2 events you're doing, your cricket, your football. Let's stick to those 2. I'm sure there's plenty of other events.
There's a golf one as well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to touch on that, like other sports, rugby and netball or
anything and everything. I mean, I guess, I mean, I'm focused with the sports club at the moment. We're looking, we're using the way we've built the cricket club as the blueprint, and we're trying to just build that. But around the country, other Movember ambassadors, 24-hour golf challenges and all that sort of stuff, which is awesome. But for me, the sports club is around 365 days a year. It's the cricket playing all year round, or football all year round, and we'll look at adding other sports 100%. The football match on the 29th of November out at Cambridge, so that's the first time that a Movember Football Club game is going to be played. We'll be playing at City versus Country, which is awesome. We'll be playing for the Movember Charity Shield, which will go up for grabs any time we play. So if we're to play a Northern United team or a Melville team or a Wellington team, whatever, it'll be up for grabs, and name will get engraved on that. It's just the amount of, I thought, sure, this is just a pie in the sky idea, and it just grew legs. And the amount of people that were like, I want to play, it's just gone nuts. And I think there was at the moment we've got 35 blokes signed up to play. An ex-All Blacks playing, so I just need to teach him how to tackle.
Chuck him in goal.
Yeah. Oh no, he's too short.
Oh right.
Yeah. Steve Devine, ex-half, but he won't mind me saying that.
Yeah.
He'll try and take me out at the knees. But yeah, it's just that getting blokes together. The result, obviously I'm playing for the City team, so I want to win. But honestly, it's the piece afterwards. It's that. And we see it with the cricket. So the test match again this year. So we've moved it out to December, playing it at St Paul's from the 17th to the 21st. Is that 5 days? The power and sitting in the change rooms after 5 days and just having a conversation and seeing grown men just crying. Because of the power of their why they're doing it is unbelievable. And those are the moments that I will never forget. I could tell you what happened on the field, but those moments in the change room when you're sitting down talking to these guys that 5 days ago you never knew, and now they're bloody good mates, and we've got a community where I know that I can pick a phone up and go, dude, I'm not good, or how are you, sort of thing. That every single one of them to a man would be there. It's pretty special. Cool. For me, it's I get goosebumps talking about it, because it's just something that's, for me, it's built from an idea that one of my mates had, Kent Curry from Setting Cricket Club, who talked to Robert Dunn at Movember, and they were like, "Oh, let's play a test match," and then my name got bandied around. And I was like, "Sweet, it's crazy enough. Let's give it a go." And from that, it's gone nuts. So now we've got Lou Vincent is our patron for the Movember Cricket Club. So it's just cool stuff. It's just awesome stuff. And like I say, sport, it's just a vehicle of men's health and health by stealth, to be fair.
I think the health by stealth is a good way of putting it there, because they all play sport, and then you come together and, like you said, you have the chat, and it's sort of, I reckon it's an awesome idea.
And I think it's because we've all not all, but a lot of us are 35, 40 plus or whatever. So you're not playing club cricket or club footy or whatever it is. It's sort of, and you sort of lose connection with that club, because now it's families and stuff like that, doing other things at weekends. So this is a way to bring people together. And it's not like we're more of a Harlequins, where you sort of just go around touring around and we'll pop up here or there and play different games. We're not playing 50 games a year or anything like that. It's like we'll just play excuse me, the odd game here and there, and make it a memorable moment for those that are playing. Yeah,
no, for sure, man. That's really cool. I did want to sign up for it, but I'm actually in Aussie that weekend, so there'll be plenty of other opportunities. I thought the podcast was a better idea. Plenty of other opportunities. Anyway, listen, I think we're getting hurried up to get out of here anyway. So, Craig, thank you so much for coming and sitting down. I'll definitely share as much as I can to get around the two events, the mates stuff, and just to spread some awareness on mental health. That's cool. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. No, it was awesome. Brilliant. Too easy. All right, mate. Thank you. Next time, eh?